In the realm of Azure administration, ensuring data protection and disaster recovery is paramount. A recovery services vault is a critical component in this process. It serves as a storage entity in Azure that houses data, including backup copies, recovery points, and backup policies. This vault is essential for managing and orchestrating backup and disaster recovery services for Azure VMs, on-premises servers, and other Azure resources. Understanding how to create and manage a recovery services vault is a fundamental skill for any Azure administrator. Data protection is a cornerstone of IT operations. In the cloud, this involves safeguarding data against accidental deletion, corruption, and disasters. Azure Recovery Services vaults provide a robust solution for these challenges. They enable automated backups, long-term retention, and easy recovery options. By leveraging these vaults, organizations can ensure business continuity, comply with regulatory requirements, and minimize downtime. This slide will delve into why data protection is crucial and how Recovery Services vaults play a pivotal role in it. A Recovery Services vault is more than just a storage container. It integrates with Azure Backup and Azure Site Recovery to provide comprehensive data protection and disaster recovery solutions. The Vault can store backup data for various Azure services, including VMs, SQL databases, and file shares. It also supports on-premises workloads, making it a versatile tool for hybrid environments. This slide will explore the architecture and capabilities of Recovery Services vaults, highlighting their role in a robust data protection strategy. Creating a Recovery Services vault in Azure is a straightforward process. First, navigate to the Azure portal and search for Recovery Services vaults. Click on Add to start the creation process. You'll need to provide a name for the vault, select a subscription, resource group, and location. Once these details are filled in, click Reviews, Create, and then Create. The vault will be provisioned in a few moments. This slide will provide a step-by-step guide to creating a Recovery Services vault, complete with screenshots and tips. After creating a Recovery Services vault, the next step is to configure backup policies. These policies define the schedule and retention settings for backups. In the Azure portal, navigate to your vault and select Backup Policies. Here, you can create a new policy or modify an existing one. Define the backup frequency, daily, weekly, etc., retention period, and any specific rules for long-term retention. This slide will walk through the process of setting up and managing backup policies, ensuring your data is backed up according to your organization's needs. With the Recovery Services Vault and backup policies in place, you can now enable backup for your Azure VMs. In the Azure portal, go to your vault and select Backup. Choose Azure Virtual Machine as the workload type and select the VMs you want to back up. Assign the appropriate backup policy and click Enable Backup. Azure will start backing up the selected VMs according to the policy settings. This slide will detail the steps to enable backup for Azure VMs, ensuring your virtual machines are protected. Monitoring is a crucial aspect of managing backups. Azure provides comprehensive monitoring tools within the Recovery Services Vault. In the Azure portal, navigate to your vault and select Backup Jobs. Here, you can view the status of all backup jobs, including successful backups, failures, and in-progress jobs. Azure also offers alerts and notifications to keep you informed about the health of your backups. This slide will cover how to monitor backup jobs, interpret the status reports, and set up alerts for proactive management. Restoring data is a critical function of the Recovery Services Vault. In the event of data loss or corruption, you can restore data from your backups. In the Azure portal, navigate to your vault and select Backup Items. Choose the item you want to restore and click Restore. Follow the prompts to select the recovery point and destination. Azure will restore the data to the specified location. This slide will provide a detailed guide on how to restore data from backups, ensuring you can recover quickly and efficiently. Beyond backups, Recovery Services vaults also support disaster recovery through Azure Site Recovery. This service replicates workloads running on physical and virtual machines from a primary site to a secondary location. In the event of a disaster, you can fail over to the secondary site and continue operations with minimal downtime. This slide will explore how to set up and manage disaster recovery using Azure Site Recovery, highlighting the integration with Recovery Services vaults and the steps to ensure business continuity. Security is paramount when dealing with backup and recovery data. Azure Recovery Services vaults offer several security features, including encryption, role-based access control, RBAC, and multi-factor authentication, MFA. These features help protect your data from unauthorized access and ensure compliance with security policies. This slide will delve into the security aspects of managing a Recovery Services vault, providing best practices and tips for securing your backup and recovery data. Managing costs is a critical aspect of using Azure services. Recovery Services vaults incur costs based on the amount of data stored and the frequency of backups. Azure provides tools to monitor and optimize these costs. In the Azure portal, you can view cost reports and set up budgets and alerts to manage expenses. This slide will cover how to monitor the costs associated with Recovery Services vaults, optimize backup policies to reduce costs, and leverage Azure's cost management tools to stay within budget. Compliance with regulatory requirements is essential for many organizations. Azure Recovery Services vaults help meet these requirements by providing features like data encryption, retention policies, and audit logs. These features ensure that your backup and recovery processes comply with standards such as GDPR, HIPAA, and ISO. This slide will explore the compliance and regulatory considerations when using Recovery Services vaults, providing guidance on how to configure your vaults to meet these requirements. To maximize the effectiveness of Recovery Services vaults, it's important to follow best practices. These include regularly testing your backups and recovery processes, keeping your backup policies up to date, and monitoring the health of your backups. Additionally, consider using tags to organize and manage your vaults, and leverage automation to streamline backup management. This slide will provide a comprehensive list of best practices for managing Recovery Services vaults, ensuring you get the most out of this critical Azure service. Despite best efforts, issues can arise when managing backups and recovery. Common issues include backup failures, slow restore times, and configuration errors. Azure provides tools and resources to help troubleshoot these problems. In the Azure portal, you can access diagnostic logs, support requests, and troubleshooting guides. This slide will cover common issues you might encounter with Recovery Services vaults and provide tips and resources for troubleshooting and resolving these problems effectively. To illustrate the practical application of Recovery Services vaults, let's look at a real-world case study. A mid-sized company faced challenges with data protection and disaster recovery for their hybrid environment. By implementing Azure Recovery Services vaults, they were able to automate backups, ensure compliance, and reduce downtime during incidents. This slide will detail the company's journey, the steps they took to implement Recovery Services vaults, and the benefits they realized. This case study will provide valuable insights and inspiration for your own implementation. Creating and managing a Recovery Services vault is a vital skill for any Azure administrator. It ensures data protection, compliance, and business continuity. By following the steps and best practices outlined in this presentation, you can effectively leverage Recovery Services vaults to safeguard your organization's data. As a next step, consider exploring advanced features of Azure Backup and Site Recovery, and stay updated with the latest Azure updates and best practices. This slide will summarize the key points and provide resources for further learning.